let's just take a look back at how exactly the Indiana Pacers got here, because it's pretty remarkable when you look at their season, Chiney. I would describe it as a roller coaster. I don't know about you. They only went 16-18 in their first 34 games of the season, and they headed into 2025 as the 8th seed.
Yeah, and then they turned it. They flipped the switch, because if you think about it, what they were able to do was really sync up offensively. I mean, Pascal Siakam, with every game, with every month, has blossomed to someone we've seen as the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Everyone, they've got shooters everywhere, Malika.
Right. You got Tyrese Halliburton not even being selected as a 2025 All-Star, and he spoke about his struggles, saying, I got caught up in the outside noise. I allowed myself to think negative thoughts about myself internally, and it was the first time in my life I've had real self-doubt. And that's a really vulnerable thing to say, to admit, to tell The Athletic. He said, I feel like my personal struggles were leading to team struggles. But then, UD, once the calendar turned to 2025, things also turned around for Halliburton and the Pacers. They finished the regular season 34-14 since January 1st. That's the 4th best record in the NBA.
Yes, and I love how vulnerable he was. And I think when you talk about that part of it, a lot of times we don't get into what our personal struggles do to our team. And I think the fact that he was able to identify what his personal struggles did for that team, I think it's no coincidence that only he's playing better, but as a unit, they're playing better collectively.
And that brings us to the playoffs, right, where Halliburton carried that momentum. First, you have his Game 5 game winner against the Bucks in round 1, and then you got the step back against the Cavs in Game 2 of round 2, and then, of course, the kind of bounce in the Garden, getting to see the ball drop in the Eastern Conference Finals to force overtime. And when the dust finally settled, Perk, Indiana back in the NBA Finals for the first time since Reggie's Pacers did it 25 years ago. So this really is a season to remember, even if it had twists and turns for Tyrese Halliburton, who spoke just moments ago at Media Day.
I'm excited to be here. Obviously, the finals is a very special thing and something I've wanted to be a part of, my whole life. And so to be here means the world. And I'm just, taking it all in, soaking it all in, and really excited, for this moment. As far as yesterday, we took off, and I slept the whole plane ride, which I don't normally do. And we landed, and I was ready to get up, and they said we were in Tulsa. We sat there for another hour. And then we took off again and felt like we were in the air again for another hour and a half. We didn't land here until time we landed 7, which normally would be 8 back home. So it's like a 5-hour travel day. We might as well just travel to Portland or something. But yeah, no, it was a long travel day. But what can you do? You can't. None of us can control the weather. There's worse problems in life. We'll be fine.
So somehow, in case you missed it, the Pacers were diverted because of thunderstorms in the area and a tornado warning in the area. But they got here, they got a good night's sleep, and now they are getting set for this Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I was going to ask you, Chiney, what the Pacers have proven by getting this far. But I have a feeling if I pose that question in the locker room, they would say, we haven't proven anything. We've only proven that we're 4 away.
And that's the right mindset. I mean, talking about weather, they have captured lightning in a bottle. And it is a beautiful thing, this Pacers squad. It shows you that if you have chemistry, synergy, you have an amazing coach, you can win and you have a shot. And I love that Tyrese Halliburton is a selfless type of guy. First of all, he's tired on that flight because he's like, let me hibernate. I know this defense is going to come at me. But what you see from their squad is a selfless nature, because that's his game. He's the guy that's leading the postseason in assists per game, you guys. And so you look at how he approaches it with vulnerability. Guess what? On the other side of that is accomplishment. And he's showing them he's leading by example.
Yeah, and as much as he's smiling on that podium right now, just understand these guys understand the situation. They understand the assignment. Not a chip. They have a boulder on their shoulder. I was passing by a lot of those guys, and they're sitting there saying, we love this underdog role. We love being the underdog. And like Perk said, don't quiet the noise. Listen to it. And I used to tell all my guys, if you just pay attention to all the interviews and all the media, they'll tell you exactly how they feel about you. They'll tell you exactly how they feel about you. You don't have to read between the lines. They'll be honest with how they feel about you. Take that and use it.
I feel like this the NBA Finals of the unknowns, right? Because there's so many matchups, and I'm trying to figure it out, right? You got OKC went 2-0 in the series in the regular season, but Chet didn't play. Right, and then Pascal Siakam has been a problem, and I'm wondering if Coach Daigneault is going to make an adjustment and switch up his starting lineup and start Chet at the 5, so he could add Alex Caruso to the starting lineup. I'm wondering what the Pacers are going to do, who they're going to put on SGA, who's going to be guarding. It's all these, but that's what makes it fun, right? And this is why these teams are here, because none of the other teams that they beat could figure them out. Right. So now you're toe to toe with the best of the best. iron sharpens iron. Who's going to figure who out first? That's why I got so much hope and belief in the Oklahoma City Thunder, because of their defense. And I figured they only take a quarter.
And I can tell you, sitting here, don't listen to anything that says that, oh, well, this small market series, this and that. This feels the electricity since we have touched down in OKC has been huge.
Pun
These two
intended.
teams are locked in. Pun absolutely intended. All right, let's.